introduce a woman who has stood alongside Peace One Day for at least 10 years, someone who has championed the fight against domestic violence. Please welcome Her Excellency, Secretary-General of the Commonwealth of Nations, Baroness Patricia, Scotland, QC. So, welcome, Baroness Scotland.
Thank you. It's great to see you, Jeremy. It's good to be back.
Oh, it's great that you're back. We've done many a Peace Day together. So, Baroness Scotland, you're Secretary-General of the Commonwealth of Nations. You've been a supporter of Peace Day for over a decade. Peace Day is a day where there is a large recorded reduction of violence than any other given day in the calendar. So what does Peace Day mean to you? I mean, what opportunities does it present?
Well, I think one of the things that's so wonderful about Peace Day, it's the day where we all come together to do things, not just to talk about peace, not just to pray for peace, but actually make peace a reality. And as the Commonwealth represents 1/3 of the world, it's 2.4 billion people, 60% of whom are under the age of 30, peace is so important. And it's been my privilege and pleasure to stand right beside you through these days, because this isn't a talk shop, this is a doing shop. So Peace Day is an exciting moment for us. It looks at acknowledging the active steps that we have taken to promote and embed and promulgate peace. And it's a moment for us to call out to everybody all around the world to lay down their arms, those who are in the middle of the battle. But it's also a moment for us to build peace. Peace in our homes, which will bring peace in our communities, peace in our countries, peace in our region, so that we will have peace in the world. And this doesn't just happen. We have to make it happen. And I think it's amazing that you managed to get the United Nations to have this Peace Day, because the United Nations themselves was created after the war to bring an end to war and to make sure that we will have peace in the future. So I think this is a day which we need even more in 2020 than we've ever needed before. With COVID and climate change and the crisis, we need those sustainable development goals and we need peace.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Baroness, for those inspiring words. You're a doer as well as Secretary General of the Commonwealth. You've just launched a campaign called Commonwealth Says No More to Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault. Could you please tell us about your efforts to increase peace and decrease violence?
Well, as you know, domestic violence affects 1 in 3 women and girls in the world. It's the greatest cause of morbidity, killing and injuring more women and girls than anything else. And we've also been grappling for so long with the whole issue of sexual violence. And when it comes to domestic violence, we know that it's no respecter of people. So it doesn't matter if you're black, you're white, you're male, you're female, whatever your orientation is, this is something which can affect you. And we also know that if we are going to have peace in our world, we need peace in our home. And we know that if all of us don't get involved in this, we're never going to have anything change. And it's like poverty. Someone said to me once, you know, Patricia, you'll never get rid of domestic violence because it's like the poor. Well, the SDGs that we're working on means we want to get rid of poverty, and we can get rid of domestic violence too, but we can't do it on our own. And so we know that so many individuals say, I would like to do something about domestic violence. Businesses say, I'd like to do something about domestic violence. Regional bodies and institutions and countries want to do it, and they don't know how. Well, we know how, and what we've done is we've created the tools and the campaigns, so it doesn't matter if you're a bystander, if you are a business, if you're a country, if you're a local authority, whoever you are, we now have the tools that can make a difference. And so we launched our Commonwealth Says No More. No more violence in the home. We want peace in our home, and we have pulled all the instruments together to enable us to do it. So I want everyone to go online, look at our commonwealthsaysnomore.org, sign up, take the pledge, because I know that we can do this. And if every one of us takes the pledge, if every one of us decides that we'll do whatever we can to look after our friends, our neighbours, our colleagues, our family members, we can be the difference we want to see in the world. And it's fantastic that we've got literally millions of dollars worth of intellectual property in those tools, and they're all for free. So go online, take it, make your own campaign, sign up today. Your organization can end domestic violence and save a life. How good is that? To say to people, what are you going to do today? I think I'll save a life. Not bad.
Wow. Thank you, Baroness Scotland. So your peace initiative sounds obviously amazing. I've been listening to you for well over a decade and working alongside you to reduce violence on the day. So, it's a pleasure to hear you speak with such passion. Let's talk about, just for a moment, about the Sustainable Development Goals. I mean, in particular, Goal 16, peace and justice, with its aim of reducing violence by 50% by 2030. If Goal 16 is a huge global success and we're reducing violence and everybody knows about this, peace and justice goal, what impact do you think peace and justice will have on all of the other goals?
Well, all the SDGs are interlinked. But let's just take the one I've just been talking about, which is 1 in 3 women. We know that is costing violence is costing our world about $14.5 trillion a year. That means it's costing most of us more than $1,909 each. And just for violence against women, when we looked at it in 2016, that was about $1.5 trillion. So that was costing each of us about $200 a day. What if we brought that to an end? Think about the schools we could build, the roads we could build, the work we could do on climate change, the fact that we will release women and girls to make a contribution because they won't be beaten and dragged down. This is an amazing opportunity. But if you look at those Sustainable Development Goals, we need all of them, and they are all interlinked. If we are going to end poverty, SDG 1, we need the SDG 2 to 15 and SDG 16, which is justice. What about SDG 17? Partnership. What we're doing here today is building that partnership, which is capable of developing and delivering the tools we need to deliver SDG 1 to SDG 16. And 16 is fundamentally important. It's about good governance. It's about the rule of law. It's about fairness. It's about making sure that we leave no one behind. And you would expect me to say this as a lawyer, but the justice element is critical for all of us. We need fairness. We need openness. And we need to make sure that the most vulnerable are not discriminated against. And in this year, when we know that racial discrimination is still a huge issue for us, we have to end it. So I'm saying not just no more to violence against women. I'm saying no more to unfairness, no more to destitution, no more to poverty, no more to any of those elements that we need to change if we are to deliver the SDGs by 2030. And I believe if we work together, we can do this. Multilateralism is the only way, but we won't get there if we think me, myself, I, and on my own. It'll never work. And I've been inspired by what I've seen the Commonwealth do on COVID. We have stuck together. We've helped each other, just as we are sticking together to end violence against women. The Commonwealth had the SDGs already. If you look at our charter, which we signed together 2012, then implemented, the Queen signed it 2013. All of the SDGs are there from 1 to 16. That is our values. That's what we aspire to do. So you won't expect me to do anything than say, get in there, let's deliver the SDGs, let's make it real, let's touch it, taste it, see it, be it. We can do this.
Yeah, Wow, thank you. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it, Ahmed? Thank you for your time this evening, Patricia. It's incredible to hear you talk about the Sustainable Development Goals. And of course, people can find out more information by going to the SDG Global Action Campaign, and of course to Pathfinders and to the United Nations 75 and other partners like the Bingham Center for the Rule of Law. But thank you so much for your words today. It's been absolutely amazing. Thank you, Baroness Patricia Scotland. Thank you.
Great to be with you.